Hello everyone, and welcome to Ramble. This is Darkstalker's Stray Music. So you might be like, what is a Ramble? Well, you see, I stole that from Dark Viper AU. He's got a channel where he just talks about stuff, and I didn't want to just do like, parasocial, let's chat live streams where I just talk about personal shit, but I still want to talk about shit. So this format works really, really well. So I can just, get my list of stuff to talk about, and I can just talk about all these things for like 2-3 minutes each, and just kind of like have a little video in there. So like, if I have a bit of an update, I don't just post the 3-minute videos about it. I just can have like a bunch of other stuff that I want to talk about all together without having to like make individual videos or like just have it buried in a pod somewhere that may or may not be deleted because it's over 12 hours. Sorry, kind of lost it for a second. So yeah, I'm in the Windows XP dimension with my cool mouse over there. By the way, I fixed my audio. Can you guys clap? Like, I know you're not like there, but like, please clap. And then everybody clapped. Thank you for the Reddit gold. Sorry, that was Reddit humor. I hate Reddit. Yeah, I need to go to a different dimension. Oh, cool image. I like how it's like not zoomed in at all. It's like low resolution. There we go. Now we're in the Donkey Kong dimension. Alright, so fellas, what's my best stream? Let me show it to you actually. Let's watch it together. I have some good clips I could make out of this VOD, right? Right? Oh wait, it's gone. The thumbnail used to be there. It's just fully gone now. That's funny. So I had a 20-hour stream of DK64 where I played the entirety of the game and did 101%, which is something that for most people takes like 100 hours or something. For reference, the game has like 201 golden banana to collect, which are basically like the power stars in Mario. And there's like thousands of colored bananas, and there's also thousands of coins. There's like 30 fairies you need to take pictures of. There's a lot of collectibles, alright? And it's one of my favorite games. It's my first video game, or console video game that I've ever had. So I know a lot about the game, and the stream was very fun because I was talking the entire time and my audio wasn't fucked up. By the way, can we talk about the audio? It's good now. Thank you, me, for taking like time to actually fix the audio. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I did it. It's stupid. I hate OBS, like, just bullshit. I mean, I think I know what I did. I fixed the audio. First off, I got rid of the gain. There's like gain on the microphone itself, and if I turn it up, it would like pick up all the background shit. And it sounded really terrible when I added the noise cancelling. No, not the noise cancelling, but like, I mean, yeah, I guess even the noise cancelling couldn't like just block it out because it was loud. So instead I have whatever, this is boring. I also fixed the EQ basically, and that was why it sounded like weird and like bassy or whatever. I don't fucking know. Anyway, the DK64 stream was really fun. I wanted to make like a 10-minute cut of it, like just the best moment, and like just showing like how sane I was at the beginning, and just how insane I was at like 5 a.m. I don't fully remember what happened, but I remember laughing a lot at nothing. Like I was just saying like lines from the game and like just random noises, and I was just laughing at myself. Like I'm pretty sure at some point I was just saying Amogus for 20 minutes and just laughing, and like oh banana and you know that kind of stuff. You know, I had monkey brain. And yeah, I finished the game at like 6 a.m. Someone showed up early, Carol, I think. And, you know, they went to bed at like after the second level or so. And then they came back at the last level and they were like, you're still playing this? So shout out to them because they actually like stayed until the end. Halfway through, we also had some fun with the mermaid. If you know about the DK64 mermaid, good on you, you know. These got big ones, that's all I'm gonna say. I also make jokes about Candy Kong having like a brick in her t-shirt because it's just like there's nothing natural about those, you know. Lots and lots of a fun moment, you know. Someone came in randomly at some point and was like, just I love snorting drywall or something. And you know, I don't really know what that was about. No, they were eating drywall or something. It was really fun. I noticed the crop says Donkey Kong. Yo, new Kong just dropped. And fucking Chunky in the back just fucking coming. Sorry. That picture is really funny. I don't know why. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. SF came in halfway through and we're making like really like, you know, questionable jokes. I started talking about Classy to the drywall guy. And there was a guy, I think it was Tyler, his name. Shoutouts to Tyler. He came in and we talked about video games. Yeah. It wasn't particularly like anything special. It was basically just like watching a Scott the Was video for 2 hours, I guess, where you're just like, did you know that the GameCube existed? That's right, the GameCube is real. It was such a fun stream and it's just gone, and the reason why it's gone, you might be like, okay, you've been talking about this VOD, but like, why is it gone, you know? It's very simple. You can't stream for over 12 hours, and I didn't know that. In fact, nobody knows that because it's not written anywhere. I had to go on fucking Linus Tech Tip, and they were like, oh, 12 hours is the max. It's not even on like YouTube's website, it's just I had to go on fucking Linus Tech Tip, and I watched like some fucking Indian guy who was like, I don't want to make the accents, but you know what it sound like, and he was just like, yeah, there's no fix, you know, and like that thumbnail is like, hey, how to fix that? And it's just like, oh, you can't fix it, fuck you. You idiot. How did you not know, you fucking idiot? You're supposed to know. You can stream for more than 12 hours. Who do you think we are, like, free server? Like, come on, dude. So I should have stopped at 11 hour and just started the stream again and just have another not 7 hour, but I streamed for 19 hours, so I don't know how to count. Yeah, maybe no, 8 hours. There we go. I'm trying to think of like other funny moments so that I can immortalize them in this video, because they're fully gone now. And I know I was talking the entire time and it was very fun. Oh, Beaver Bother happened. So there's a mini game called Beaver Bother. It's very infamous for being like the most bullshit part of the game. Some people will argue that like, other parts of the game are like even more bullshit, like the races. I did all the races in under 2 tries, except the RC car in the creepy castle level, because I was too tired, so I did it on my 3rd try. But like everything else, 1st or 2nd try. The Lanky Kong race on the ice level, for example, I always forget if I have to press jump or not to do the jump, and you're not supposed to press jump, so I did it on my 2nd try. And then there's the bunny, which I think is the hardest race in the game, and I did it on my 2nd try for some reason. Last time it took like an hour. So that happened. Yeah, I did 101% in 19 hours, so very fun. I was actually so upset that the VOD was gone that I wanted to just play through the entire game again on stream because I was just pissed off, and I was still like, oh, I love this game, I want to play more, but like, you know, I finished it in a day, so that happens. Oh yeah, after the stream, I was obviously tired, so I went to bed, and the next day I just slept all day. And I had insomnia all week, so I didn't stream. So if you were expecting a stream during the week, DK64 happened. And I thought people could just watch the VOD if they really wanted more content, but it's gone. It's gone. All my apes are gone. They're all gone. All my clips are gone. It's really ironic because the thumbnail said all my apes are gone, but I was making fun of like NFTs because it's monkeys. But now they're actually gone. Fuck you, YouTube. You pieces of shit. Stole my apes. Alright, what's the next topic? Wow, look, it's near Automata, but I can't actually play music from near Automata because Square Enix is poo-poo. So I think I'm more likely to be fine if I go for Drakengard music, but I'm not gonna play Drakengard 1 music. I'm gonna play Drakengard 3 music. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my review. I've taken all this time to put a background, but I need to look at my notes. So, what does the game represent to me? Yeah, I'm gonna go less to most spoilery. So, Nier Automata is a video game that I played at a time where I was very, very depressed and hopeless in a lot of ways. And I kinda lost passion for video game around that time. I did play Gravity Rush 2 right before playing Nier Automata, and that game was like, I thought it was just a fluke, you know, I was like, oh, this game's the exception. And then I played Nier Automata and I was like, oh no, video games are still good, you just gotta find them. So, yeah, this game made me cry a lot. It's just one of those games, you know, it's a game that will always have a special place in my heart, and you know, because of that, I was very, very interested in the anime. So let's get into it. Also, it was my first Nier game, or Yoko Taro game in general. So, again, cool shit. If you haven't played Nier, by the way, like, you know, play Replicant first though. I think you should start with that one. Maybe watch Drakengard 1 cutscenes on YouTube just to get, like, full context. I wouldn't, like, force anyone to play Drakengard 1. It's a very rough game. You know, sometimes I think about how I'd like to do a full, like, Drake Nier playthrough, if you will. You know, just playing the whole series. And then I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to replay Drakengard 1. uh, and it's not because I don't like the game, I love that game, but it's like, it's simultaneously one of my favorite and least favorite games of all time. Like, it's just, it's so awful, but I love it so much, you know? So, Neo Automata is one of those games where, like, there isn't like a but. You know, every game in the Drakengard franchise, I'm like, I love this game, but. And even Replicant, which is my favorite of the series, getting all the endings is really annoying. But in Neo Automata, every path is really unique and the pacing is really good. It's just, I like the music and characters of Replicant more. So let's get into the actual anime. Start with the visuals. The visuals are, I'm tired of this music already. What's Empty Tone? Oh, that's depressing. Oh, I love this video. It's called Mentally Drain. Mentally Draining Workout Music, Drakengard. It's really funny. Alright. So the visuals. One complaint. 3D. 3D fidget spinner. Yeah, the anime is in 2D, but there's a lot of like 3D thrown in there. And I know that this game, this anime was vaguely rushed because of COVID, and like there was a lot of like issues with the development. So I don't know if that's like somewhat caused by that or it's like a budget thing. But the 3D was very, very jarring, and I don't hate necessarily the use of 3D in animes. I think it can be done very well. I think Show by Rock is one of the best example where the slice of life stuff is in 2D, but then the music videos are in 3D. And it's got like a completely different art style, and it kind of just works really well since it's borderline with Nisekai somehow. But with this anime, it's just like you have characters that are in 2D next to characters in 3D, and it's really, really, really jarring. It's mostly bosses though that are in 3D, except the final boss. So, Pascal, I believe, is 3D. That girl who wants to be pretty is 3D. By the way, this anime is only like the first half of the game, which I'm gonna get into that, but yeah. The anime's visuals are just, they feel kind of cheap. There's parts where like you can kind of just tell they're just kind of dragging the background sideways to like make it look like they're like going somewhere, and it's, I don't really mind it as much as the 3D, but it is like something that's very noticeable and cheap. So the puppets, yeah, that's something I didn't want to forget, because it is technically part of the visuals, but it is fully new and different. So at the end of every episode, you have a little puppet show, and it's easily the best part of the anime somehow, because it's just like the gag endings, but like as little like puppet shows. So shoutouts to puppet stuff. By the way, it's usually after the credits, so don't forget to watch them. I didn't. Also, the last episode has like a whole section after the credits, so again, don't leave. I'm putting fucking Zelda music. That's right, bitch. Actually, Twilight Princess has a very similar atmosphere to Nier Automata. Really nice music, nice gritty atmosphere, and really cool characters. So, yeah, that's where we at with the music and atmosphere. This anime has no atmosphere. I don't know how they did it, but the atmosphere up near is really, really strong and powerful, and this anime has like no atmosphere somehow. I don't really know how. Like, there's a few scenes where there is almost like an atmosphere, like in the most atmospherical areas of the game, I guess. Like the Sinking City or whatever it's called, Flooded City. You know, it had some like nice shots of the backdrop, which is also one of the most pretty areas of the game. But the music didn't really, I don't know. They used music from the game, but it didn't really work super well. It almost felt like fan service at some points. Like having vocals in the background during like a very dialogue intensive scene sometimes felt like a little like annoying and in the way, you know? Like, I feel like, I don't know, it felt like the music was kind of just there for like flavor more than like, I don't know, like the atmosphere just felt artificial almost. I don't know if it's because like this studio isn't really like used to making this kind of vibe. Like, they usually work with I looked into them, A1 Studio. They did Fairy Tail and Soil Online, which are much more bright and colorful with like very fantasy themes and stuff. So maybe doing something that's a little more like gritty and post-apocalyptic isn't really like the best choice. Oh yeah, there's a few original songs in this anime. I keep wanting to call it a game. I think that's normal because it's from a game, and you know, in a lot of ways, it almost feels like a cutscene. Yeah, there's original music. There's a song in the intro. The singer sounds a lot like whoever made the outro song, the credit theme from Drakengard 3. Similar voice. I don't know if this is the same singer or something, but I don't know, it's kind of like one of those. And I think it plays during like the last boss or something. It does work at that moment for some reason. So that's a thing. Now, structure and pacing. Now we're getting into spoilers for reals. For real, my fellow bussin' dope swag. See, I'm hip. I know the words. Jumbo Josh, Skibidi Toilet, Five Nights at Frederick. Alright, the structure. So, the game has four paths with like an after credit thing. And this anime has 1.5. It basically merges path A and B together, which removes like the thing. God, I'm struggling. Sorry. In the game, you go through the first chunk of the game. God damn it! I need to stop saying game. It feels like there's just a bubble inside my head, like in my nose or some shit. I don't know if it's like allergies or something. I think it's what's making it hard to breathe for me right now. Like, I think I'm slightly sick. I don't know. I've been struggling with my nose for 2 days. In the game, you go through the first path twice, differently, where basically the first time you go through it, you kind of just see like what's happening in the foreground, while when you play path B, you see everything that's going on in the background, and it gives you a completely new perspective on what's happening. And there's a few missions that are a bit different. Cool cursor on the screen. So because of that, you don't really feel any like sense of surprise, or you're not like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming. You kind of just like yeah, I guess this is happening for some reason now. Also, there's a lot of sections from the game that are just fully removed or like moved around for some reason. And a lot of it I think is done to spend more time with the side characters. Some characters have a lot of like extra background on them, which in the game would have basically just been like side mission dialogue or like a log where you kind of just read it and you're like, oh, okay, that happened. And that also means A2's backstory with her squad is in the anime, so if you ever want to see that, it's there. Except it's not really anything special. It almost feels like a completely different anime because the style is just so vibrant and colorful. Even though they're like trying to like tell you that there's like a huge danger approaching and everything. They also focus on there's a character called Lily. Lily is original to this anime and she replaces Anemone, who has always been one of the more forgettable characters that's like somewhat very important because she's always there and she's always giving you objectives and missions. So they replace her with like weeb bait. So she's like kind of cute. She's kind of a like younger looking girl. She's got cute face and whatever. Her skin is pale, just weeb bait, She does kind of look like a Sword Art Online character, so. By the way, I just noticed I basically just went into change in additions without even like going over it. So I'll just talk about the other like major change, which is Adam and Eve. They swap roles for some fucking reason. Also, Eve looks weird. In the game, he kind of looks like, this like twinkish, like muscly guy who doesn't wear a shirt. He's kind of like a jock looking guy. He looks a bit edgy. In this game, he's got like a baby face for some reason and like really big eyelashes. I don't know what's up with that, but it was very distracting for some reason. Adam, on the other hand, looked really hot. I mean, he always looked hot. Oh god, my white-haired glasses looking ass is fucking simping. The white-haired glasses looking ass. Would you look at that? Wow, I sure. Whatever. Alright, what does that mean for the anime? What it means is that, nothing actually, because they didn't do anything with it. They're just like, I don't know. Instead of being a giant clusterfuck of robots, it's a giant clusterfuck of goop. So whatever. Who cares? And when I saw that, I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna like change it more. But no, actually they like locked up Yoko Taro in the basement or something because he kept being like, hey, let's change this, let's change that, and they didn't want to change too much because the director is a big fan of the game and he was like, no, it needs to be like the game. And Yoko Taro was like, oh, but I wanna change things. So this could have been a really cool anime with like a very original and unique like story. It is its own branch technically, but yeah, you don't miss out on much if you don't play, if you don't watch the anime, because it's just, they basically just show you like a visual version of vlogs. Outside of that, additions, there's a bunch of like Easter eggs. There's Easter eggs to Drakengard even, which is odd because Drakengard basically doesn't exist in today's society. So shout out to the Drakengard Easter egg, and shout outs to Kaine being like the most attractive thing in the whole anime. Like for some reason she's got like a whole like shot of her just looking really pretty and being the best character in the franchise. So that was really cool. I like that. And that's one of the features of the new hacking thing, because for some reason hacking isn't fucking shmup in the anime. It's basically what's the movie again? The stupid movie that everyone loves. Inception. It's like Inception. Basically, 9S goes into people's data and he see all sorts of stuff, and he basically went into Near Replicant for like 2 scenes, which was kind of cool. You get to see a lot of like backstory through that, so that was a cool like story thing. I skipped something in structure, my bad. The pacing is kind of bad. There's a lot of focus on stuff that's not in the game and that isn't important. Like there's a whole like 10-minute scenes of like just the 2 protagonists just chilling in the water for some reason, and 2B puts a flower in her boobs because reasons, just like fan service or whatever. That was a waste of time. So overall thoughts, it's like a 6.5 for me. It's hard to say. I gave it a 7 on my anime list because I do like Nier a lot and I'm biased, but in the back of my head it's like a 6 out of 10. Just so much just waste. They didn't really like add anything that was really worthy of being added. A lot of the changes are kind of like questionable, where it's like it's better but it's also worse. So I'm confused, I'm just, this is not a replacement for the game. This is not, it's kind of like a companion piece in a way, but it doesn't add anything really. Whatever. Watch it if you want to, but don't expect too much. It's kind of mid. Oh, season 2 and possible Draknir adaptation in the future. Yeah, there's a season 2 because they only did half of the game. And I love how like in the game halfway through they have like a trailer for like the second half of the game before you play the second half of the game. It's insane. It's truly, if you haven't played that game, it's fucking amazing. I didn't really click with the game during like Path A, but like once I was done with Path B, I was like, I fell in love with the game because just everything changes, after when you do Path B, and then like you're just like, holy shit, there's a whole nother game after the game. Season 2, yeah, second half of the game, the better half of the game. So since this may or may not have a bigger budget, and also, well, I don't know actually if it have a better budget. Usually animes have lower budget on second season unless it's like fucking One Piece or some shit. So I don't know. We'll have to see. My expectations are low because of this one, but the second half of the game is the better half of the game, and it's where like the story really picks up and the characters really like. Oh, I didn't talk about the character. I thought I talked about them a little more in changes or whatever, but yeah, let me do a little detour. 2B is odd. In the game, she's always like focusing on her mission and following orders. In the anime, she's the one who's always trusting the robots and helping them, while 9S instead is already kind of edgy and just like killing robots for no reason. Even he's the one who kills Adam. So that was like some foreshadowing, I guess, of like the second half, where Nines becomes a fucking edgelord. Huge spoiler, by the way. Shouldn't have watched this. If you haven't played the game, you know, I keep trying to sell the game, but at the same time, like, no, don't watch this. If you haven't played the game, watch the anime. A near anime could be interesting, but the format of Replicant is just such a strange thing, because they wouldn't be able to do the whole like switcheroo of going through the whole story again, but like now knowing how like fucked up shit is, so you basically have to just skip all the paths and just not do them, which is like one of the most interesting part of Replicant, you know, they basically just skip all of that and go directly to path D or something. And you cannot emulate path D in a fucking anime. Like, how do you do that? Like, it's a game that's made to be a video game, and like the Nier series just embraces that to its full extent, so that's kind of annoying. And I understand why they started with Automata, even though it doesn't really make a lot of sense story-wise, since it's like the last part of a timeline. But you know, if I could have chosen one Drake Nier entry to make into an anime, it would have been Drakengard 1. Because I think it's the one that's like the most deserving of something. It's just so... I don't like the gameplay, but I love the story, so like having Drakengard 1 as an anime would just work really well, I think. But then you have Drakengard 2, which will never get an anime to that. Or at least not until we have like AI making anime or something. Because I don't think they would see a lot of profit from making one of those. I'd love to see a remake of the Drakengard 2 game, though, like a full remake that's like reimagined by Yoko Taro, where he kind of just fixes all the weird plot holes and just cleans up everything and has like great gameplay or something. Because I do love Drakengard 2. I think people are too critical of it. I think gameplay wise it's way better than the first game. Not by much, but like I do think it's way more fun. And I like Mana and I like Kaim's like story in it. It's just the new characters that completely suck. And the ending is ass, like actually. So then there's Drakengard 3, which is a prequel to Drakengard 1, and it's good, but it's more like a comedy, I guess. Drakengard 3 is weird, and I love it for that, but I don't know, I guess it could work as an anime, because it does feel like an anime. It's mocking like anime tropes all the way through, and the story of 3 is kind of a clusterfuck because the real ending is in a fucking novel or whatever. Alright, childhood memory of toys. So I was watching Oni play at my job, and the new Sonic Frontier episode had, it starts off with Oni talking about the toys he had as a kid, and I was thinking about the toys I had as a kid, and I realized I didn't really have that much choice over my toys. I kind of just got whatever my parents got me for like holidays and whatever, and that was also kind of the case for video games for a while, where I'd basically just play whatever my dad got me. So for some reason I remembered one of my toys was an X23 toy, and it looks like shit, but like I remember it looking good as a kid. I had this fucking toy and it looks like shit, and I remember it looking good. I was like, oh, I used to have this fucking X23 doll, and it was like my only like female character doll or something, because you know I was a guy, so I got Boy fucking stuff. And because this was like kind of like it was like a series, like every figure came with a piece of Apocalypse. So I had X-23, I had Bishop, and I had Iron Fist. I'm pretty sure I had someone else, but I don't remember whomst. So that was a thing. And like, you know, I wanted to look at my old toys from just like nostalgia, and yeah, it looked like shit. I was really disappointed. But yeah, I had those, and I also had like a Ninja Turtle, like sewer house thing, and it was really cool and super like high quality and one of my like best toys. But like, I didn't care about the Ninja Turtles. It's like one of those things that was kind of just forced upon me, you know? It's like, it's kind of like Scooby-Doo for a lot of people, you know? Like, nobody really like chooses to like Scooby-Doo. It's just like this thing that's like, it span every generation. It's like it's always been there, you know. It's like Coca-Cola. Like, you don't choose to drink Coca-Cola, you know. It's just everywhere. So it's kind of like how it is with like Scooby-Doo, you know. It's just everywhere. And for me, what the fuck was I talking about? Why am I talking about Scooby-Doo? Fuck. Oh, Ninja Turtle. Yeah, Ninja Turtle is kind of one of those like franchises that like were kind of neat at the time, but I feel like it's such like a 90s thing that like it doesn't really like, it doesn't have the appeal that it used to have. But like people are like, it's still a franchise that's like very like forced into like just being relevant somehow. Like the 2000 series that like I grew up with wasn't like amazing. It was alright, but I wasn't like hyped for it when it was on TV. I was just like, oh, it's the thing. So I watched it. But the house I had was really cool, and I never really used it with the Ninja Turtle. I used like other characters that I had. So that one was cool. But like I do remember, like for those who don't know, I'm non-binary and shit. But at school, I would like play with the Barbie dolls a little bit, you know, and I was like, I didn't play with them too much because I didn't want to be judged or anything, but like I remember being like, wow, I kind of wish I had something like that, you know, like cool, just like regular house where you can kind of just role play, and there's like so many clothes you can put on and like just combine and stuff, and I didn't have that. Bishop had a shotgun and a revolver. Like, woo. I can do violence. And, you know, I don't like violence. I was never really the violence kind of guy, you know. I like Need for Speed and cars. Because it was like the boy thing that like had a lot of like, you know, there's all these cars and they're all unique, and like, you know, and when you play Need for Speed, you can customize them and make them your own. You know, I like that stuff, you know. So of course, the idea of like a customizable doll, like, kind of like activated something in my brain that was like, oh, I kind of wish I had something like that. But no, no zone. So yeah, that was unfortunate. I do sometimes almost want to just like buy toys for some reason. I buy anime figures to like cope. But like, I feel like if I were to like buy toys or whatever, like I just like, I'd play with it for like 10 seconds and just then get really depressed and question my life decisions. Like, I'm 24-year-old and I'm like, I have dolls or whatever, you know, it's like, I can't do that. Instead, I'm gonna play Donkey Kong 64 for 20 hours to relive my childhood. God, being an adult is depressing. Anyway, that's just like a random thing I was like thinking about earlier today, and I didn't want to just have two topics. And the next thing is Discord server. So I may or may not try to make the Discord server more accessible, because my Discord server was never meant to have people that follow me. It was just kind of meant to be this thing for me and my friends, and you know, we just post pictures of goth girls or some shit, and sometimes post meme, and I kind of just use it to like update people on my streams or whatever. So, you know, it's really inactive, but I might like overhaul it and add more roles. So, you know, I don't want underage people in there, but like the only people who like click on random streams on YouTube seem to be underage, so that's annoying. If you're underage, please don't. Please be an adult. Just do it. Become an adult. You can do it. I'm sure you can. It's not that hard. I did it. But yeah, I'd need to like make a public channel or something and just separate it from the already existing channels, just for my friends. If you do want to force yourself into my server, you can just add MSLs. It's just my name. I managed to get the username when they changed the thing to remove the numbers. So, poggers or something. I don't know. Anyway, that was the Ramble. Thank you for tuning in to the first Ramble. Tell me your favorite part of the video. Do you like the more update stuff? Do you prefer reviews? Do you want to see more reviews? The review section was a fucking mess. I didn't like it. I'm gonna have to cut the shit down. And, you know, just random little stories. Maybe you like that more. So, you know, tell me what you think of the Ramble. If you want to see more, I'll probably do like one every 2 months or something. That's like a frequent thing, just, you know, talking about stuff. I was gonna live stream today. I don't know if I have time to do that. I'm probably gonna stream a little bit tomorrow morning before seeing my mom. So, thanks for watching.